When it came to actors being cast as a Doctor, 2022 was a big year. We of course had Ncuti Gatwa announced as our 15th Doctor, followed by the news that David Tennant had once again been cast in the role, this time taking slot number 14. Big Finish even kicked off the year revealing that Michael Troughton would be stepping into the shoes of his late father, playing the second Doctor in The Annihilators and beyond. But this wasn't all, because on the 11th of February 2022, exactly 1 year ago today, on the day this video is uploaded, Big Finish unveiled Stephen Noonan as the first Doctor with this very special trailer.
Now, are you sure you're up to it?
Why wouldn't I be?
Oh, no reason. No reason.
I'm fine, Doctor. Really, I am.
I know that it hasn't been easy for you since Stephen left. Having no one but a cranky old fusspot like me to talk to.
Don't be silly, Doctor. You're the most interesting person I've ever met.
Yes, well, I suppose I can be quite engaging on occasion.
Anyway, I know that moping about the TARDIS isn't going to do either of us any good.
I am not moping.
Of course not. Neither of us are.
Shall we be off?
I'd better get changed first.
Whatever for?
I can't run around the 13th century in a miniskirt, can I? Won't be a minute.
Oh, and while you're footling around in that wardrobe, bring my stick, child.
Fetch my stick, indeed. It's weird, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Thinking that it's been a whole year since we had this announcement now. And I mean, a whole year and 1 day, actually, because we were given a little tease beforehand, weren't we? Was it 1 day before, or was it on the day, like on the lead up to it?
I think it was the night before, I think.
Yeah, we had that little tease, and everyone was going mad with the thought of, isn't it Padland the first Doctor?
Yeah. Are we going to
Because
get
it was-
like an alternative, like Unbound? Was this going to be the direction Big Finish were going to take the first Doctor?
Yeah, I mean, a while leading up to this, we thought it'd just be David Bradley, didn't we?
Taking on the sort of mantle as the first Doctor and the face of the first Doctor of Big Finish, but no.
Yeah, we thought it'd just be him and Lauren Cornelius until, I believe it was in the January Vortex, Nicholas Briggs confirmed that they were getting a new actor when someone asked in the Vortex mail about it. And lo and behold, that new actor was Stephen Noonan. So what was your reaction to this announcement?
I was very intrigued because they went all out, as we've seen with the trailer, that they were really pushing this sort of telesnap reconstruction. They were, like the third Doctor Adventures is definitely recreating an era. They were definitely recreating the feel of season 3 with it being missing. So I think it really played to their strengths, and I was excited because I think that there was a lot of intricacies in that, and I think it's the closest we've got to William Hartnell.
Yeah, I agree. Because certainly we've had quite a few different actors play the role for quite a while now. Going right back to the 5 Doctors, you of course had Richard Herndon. Then on TV, you had David Bradley, initially just stepping into the role of William Hartnell for a docudrama, and then fully taking on the role of the first Doctor over at Big Finish and in the Twice Upon a Time, and now even Power of the Doctor.
Where you have as well John Gullier, who played the Hartnell, the first Doctor in Planet of Giants and Day of the Doctor.
He did as well.
Which I guess was the person you probably thought would go next, but no, we have Stephen, which I think is a lot more of a detailed performance from the videos he's done, talking about recreating and the research. It's fascinating hearing that creative process and of sort of finding the first Doctor's voice and how varied Hartnell's voice. And I think that it's definitely made, when you go back and rewatch the stuff, you realise how different Hartnell's Doctor's voice is story to story.
It makes you re-examine and reappreciate that original performance anew, doesn't it? As well as get a lot more out of what Stephen Noonan is doing in the role so far. And certainly, I think Nicholas Briggs put it best when he said, it's the same music just played on a slightly different instrument. I think that is the best way to look at it. And
it's a perfect
really,
way of describing it.
Yeah, you really do get that feel when you listen to Stephen Noonan, because he's really channeling that character of the First Doctor as played by William Hartnell. I think with other First Doctors like David Bradley's, he's made it his own more, hasn't he?
Much like Michael Troughton with the Second Doctor, I feel.
Yeah, I think they're sort of not necessarily channeling William Hartnell as much. It's a slightly different take on the role.
I think
Stephen's...
Oh, go on.
I think, yeah, that's not to say that Stephen's only doing an impression either, because it is much more than that. It's a much more detailed performance, and one that just feels like it's got that heart of William Hartnell in it.
Yes, because I think when you have people doing William Hartnell's voice, they kind of latch on to that one personality trait as crotchety old man, when there is a lot more faculty to Hartnell's Doctor than the crotchety old man. There's a wonderful twinkle in Hartnell's eyes, and I think you get that in Stephen's performance.
Yeah. I feel like often the best recasts, and not just recasts actually, but audio performances in general, are the ones where you can imagine the physicality just from what they're doing with their voice.
Yes.
And you really can picture like the grasping of the lapels, like you say, that little twinkle in his eye, all those
little chuckles.
Yeah, those amazing mannerisms that Hartnell had. Yeah, like putting his hand up to his chin when he did that chuckle as well.
Yes.
Like you can hear those intricacies with Stephen Noonan's performance.
And just sort of the slight altering pitch, but he's getting higher and higher, and the dizzy excitement, of saying 1066. It's wonderful stuff.
Yeah, there is that wonderful scene in The Outlaws where he's talking to the sheriff.
Yeah. Is that a little fluff? Is that a little fluff?
He sneaks a fair few of those in as well, doesn't he? All those fluffs throughout The Outlaws.
It's a labour of love, I think, isn't it? It's a labour of love.
Yeah, you really can feel that going into the Outlaws box set, and I imagine we will continue to feel that going into the Demon Song, out next week as well. We're not that far away from it.
Very excited for that. The trailer, incredible, and I think the range feels like it's going into a completely unknown territory for the First Doctor, doesn't it? With the sort of modern contemporary stories for the First Doctor, which I think is a wonderful way of taking the character.
Yeah, I think with that end of season 3 slot where you've had Stephen leave now, but you're just before Ben and Polly, where things really start to change for stories like the War Machines and the 10th Planet, there seems to be this wonderful freedom to play with these stories in this gap.
Yeah, because the show's somewhat found its feet and its rhythm, but it's still going, okay, what else can we do?
Yeah. I think with the loss of Ian and Barbara, and now the loss of Stephen, it's sort of trying to find new things to do rather than just simply replace them again at the time. And so, I mean, that was obviously very true, because not long after that, Patrick Troughton came along, so they really did shake things up and keep things going anew. But, yeah, certainly it's nice to see Big Finish exploring that gap and being a bit more experimental with it, because it's a gap that we've not really got to do much with before now.
Yeah, I think that's the joy, because we sort of got an inkling of the gap in 2021 with Secrets of Det Sen, and now we're bringing that more to the forefront with the recent stuff, with the Outlaws and Demon Song.
It's a great way for Stephen Noonan to really chart his own path with the First Doctor as well, because it is this more or less unexplored era. So it's like he's got his own little corner of the First Doctor's world at the moment. But hopefully we'll hear him expand out from that as well and get to do stories with different companions throughout a range of times. That's very much one of our hopes going forward with this range.
And Daleks, the First Doctor needs some Daleks, and I think that's a baptism of fire, isn't it, really? Getting some Daleks.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think Tim Treloar certainly felt that when he got his first encounter with them in Conquest of Far, wasn't it?
It'd be nice if it was a 6-parter,
Oh, that
as well. 6-part Dalek story.
Because I mean, the First Doctor never had one shorter on TV. So
yeah,
feels only right that this is the way it goes. But we shall see. But I mean, Stephen Noonan himself, not just as a performer as the First Doctor, but as I suppose an ambassador for Big Finish in a way.
Yes.
He is often out there on YouTube, commenting on different videos. Not just a simple "thank you for watching" or something like that, or "thank you for listening." Rather,
yes, yeah.
He goes really in depth. He gives some wonderful insight into what he's doing as First Doctor, and also his time as a fan. He is a fan himself. He knows where we've been in some ways, and he gives you a look back at what things were like for him in the 70s, growing up with the Third Doctor and such. And I mean, recently talking to him about all the repeats they had with the Third and Fourth Doctor. Yeah, just seeing the intricate knowledge he has of all this stuff. It really is amazing, and it's just wonderful the lengths he's going to talk to different fans. Really, I mean, hopefully he's enjoying it quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have like a little output, as it were, to go like little geek out. I think that's really nice, and it's always a joy having such detailed responses. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's like he's just like us for real.
Yeah, and I think that's a wonderful thing, that he's in this very fortunate position to be playing the First Doctor, but also a fan himself. So I guess that maybe puts a little bit more pressure going, there's a weight there, isn't there? To get
he knows
right.
what this means.
Yes.
And I think he's risen to that 110%.
Yes, really has excelled. And brilliant stuff.
And I mean, 1 year on, we are so looking forward to what the future holds. And we just thought it'd be a nice little chance to do a little tribute to Stephen Noonan and say thank you for everything he's done so far.
Yes, and if you haven't checked out The Outlaws, do it. It's an amazing release. And it's great to put a little spotlight on the release and go check it out. I guess because Demon Song's coming out, it'll possibly be on sale as well.
I could see that happening. Big Finish love their sales to time with new releases. So, it certainly feels like the right time to get on board with this new incarnation of the First Doctor if you haven't already. And Demon Song, exciting stuff. Look like it's on the horizon.
So as we look back on just 1 year of Stephen Noonan as the First Doctor, we can only hope that this is just the beginning of his incredible journey. In fact, with any luck, as the First Doctor himself once said, when played by William Hartnell, it's far from being all over.